Hello, my name is Greg Starbuck. I'm a licensed therapist here in California. And one of the things I enjoy doing, and those that have an interest in these kinds of things, there's a few of us, and just topics, right, that um, and or maybe some types of subjects that I've come across over years of being in private practice and working at the hospital and still in practice. Everything's online now, but for me, but I enjoy going through some of the topics and discussing them. It's kind of just interesting. Those of us that enjoy this field, and even as Christian therapists, that we enjoy this field. God called us into this field, and this is where we work. And none of this is meant to be a therapeutic connection, right? These are just purely for information, education, and maybe a little entertaining. But the idea is that you get kind of a little perspective on a lot of topics and interests pertaining to Christian growth and therapy. And these are areas that, though we're saved, right? We're saved. We still have a lot of stuff to go through before we go to heaven, and it's just kind of fun to figure out a few of them on the way. Well, today's topic is kind of an interesting topic, and it's called triggers. Triggers, right? What the heck is a trigger therapeutically? Well, I will give you a great example of one client I worked with. I had my office at the time. This was a long time ago. My office at the time, there was a train tracks behind, and a train would pass by there periodically. And I didn't think about it over a period of time. It never, I could hear it, but I never thought much about it, or I would just say that's the train. So I'm talking with this nice person, and they've come in because they're often afraid and depressed, and they just can't seem to break out of it. So I'm chatting with her and talking, get a little history though. It's going well, and she's talking a little bit about her life, and there's a little bit of a rumble, and I don't pay much attention to it because it's the train, right? So as the train gets closer, the rumble increases, and I watched her complexion totally change. Right, she became withdrawn, pulled back, kind of clenched up a little bit. And I said, "Are you all right? Are you okay?" And she, yes, she says, I don't know what just happened, but I know that sometimes this kind of thing really upsets me. And I said, "Oh, well, did it have something to do with the train, or because obviously something was triggered? The train and the rumbling triggered something." Well, it turns out that she was from another country, of course, uh, in another country where there was war zones. And as a child, though she got out early with family, she got out early of that war zone. The fear that came with it stayed with her for a lifetime. That sense of uh, things are out of control, going to get hurt, someone's going to die. These are intense kinds of things. You could, in your own thinking, probably attaching a little PTSD to it, but the idea was this train, this rumbling triggered her thoughts. So anything that rumbled or made noise, oh my gosh, it triggered her terribly into reliving and thinking that it could happen again. Now she knew rationally, she knew that wherever it happened was not a war zone because she's been in the country for a long time and safe and very productive and intelligent and all of the great things going for her. But there were triggers, and so we were able to actually have a pretty good working relationship on identifying what those triggers were about, be able to break them down a little bit, and allow the symptoms to be worked with understanding, insight, and begin processing and giving some coping strategies for that. Well, that's kind of what a trigger is, right? So if someone pulls the trigger on a gun, the gun goes off. You don't have a whole lot of time to make any changes once you pull the trigger. Well, sometimes events or anything that looks like an event that the mind remembers as traumatic, that could be a trigger, right? So you work with someone that, they're very hesitant about people getting too close because that might mean something that triggers emotions and feelings and thoughts. Right? So those are triggers, and it's kind of a fun one to look at, from clinically, not of course for what they have to go through or what people might have to go through. Anyway, that's the idea of a trigger. So that was today's topic on things to talk about. And again, just have some fun with the topics, enjoy them, learn from them a little bit, look for some application and some fun in your own life as you think about these things. And I'll see you on the next topic. God bless.